So I bought a brand new build. It was originally supposed to sell for $315,000. Well, I got it for 285,000. And I sold that home. My wife and I sold it 7, 8 months later for $400,000, right? And we didn't really sell it to cash out because everything was high, right? So we bought low and we sold high, but we also bought high. So we didn't really get to keep that money. But anyways, we ended up getting out of the subdivision home and buying a home on 5 acres, right? So we just kind of expand. I've always wanted property. Being a veteran, I like to shoot on my property and stuff like that. So it got me the opportunity.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Investor Fuel podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Kessel. Today I'm joined by someone I've been looking forward to chatting with, Jimmy Lomeli, who's been making serious moves in the real estate space. So excited to have you here on the show today, Jimmy. I think listeners are really going to take something away from how you're approaching growing your real estate business. So let's dive in.
Hi, Michelle. I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. So for those people that are not familiar with you and your world, can you give a synopsis of what your main focus is?
So my main focus is first-time home buyers and military first responders and blue-collar workers. I've been a blue-collar worker my whole, entire life. I'm 40. So since I was like 14, right? So I tend to really click with them and vibe with them. So people in those fields, and I'm prior military as well, I just know how to talk to them and work with them a lot better than I do a lot of other people. So it just comes more natural.
And what markets do you operate in?
So my main focus is Bastrop, which is 25 minutes east of Austin. So that's my main hub. And then I do go into Austin, and it's right here. So Bastrop, Austin area here in Texas.
Okay, awesome. What's the key to keeping your business running smoothly?
The key to keeping my business running smoothly is presence and just getting it known that I'm a realtor. So any chance I get, I'm telling people, hey, I'm a realtor. Is there any way I can help you? Um, Also kind of infiltrating groups, Facebook groups, social media, any type of presence I can to join them and keep marketing there. Hey, I'm a realtor. There's always people looking for rentals. There's always people looking to buy and sell. So anytime, any chance I get, I'm checking Facebook, for example, Marketplace. People are always putting ads out. Hey, I'm looking for this. I'm looking for that. Well, there I am, letting them know that I'm here. So definitely presence and I guess advertising.
Yeah, so what got you into real estate? What's your story and background of wanting to join in this space?
So what got me into real estate was, at first it was extra money. I was working uh, blue collar work. I was working as a lineman, so I was an apprentice lineman, and in order to make really good money as a lineman, you got to work a lot, right? So I'm like, well, how do I not work 60, 70, 80 hours a week, but still bring in that extra money. Well, I knew a few realtors.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
And I started talking to them, hey, so like, what's the deal? How's this? How's that? Just kind of really picking their brain. And the opportunity there stood out. So I decided to get my real estate license here in Texas. And after that, I just started telling everybody, like being especially in the lineman world. Sorry. Especially being in the lineman world, people are always looking. They make decent money, right? So it just got me the opportunity to tell people, hey, I got my real estate license. You guys ready to buy? And just knowing that renting is not the way to live, right? I saw, especially COVID, I think we all saw this. People were moving everywhere, and the price of homes were tripled, quadrupled even, like literally. Maybe not quadrupled in California where like a $1 million home all of a sudden became 4 million. But when you're looking at like Montana where, a ranch might have been, $1 million. Well, now that same ranch is literally probably 4 million. Or outside a lot of the rural counties, like where I'm at pre-COVID, an acre could have been 5 grand, and that same acreage could have been at one point $80,000, right? People were buying big plots of land for so much money. It was incredible. And even me, my first home I bought in 2020, September, October for 285. And that was the downfall, right? Nobody was buying. COVID had hit for like 8 months. People were panicking. So I bought a brand new build. It was originally supposed to sell for $315,000. Well, I got it for $285,000. And I sold that home. My wife and I sold it 7, 8 months later for $400,000, right? And we didn't really sell it to cash out because everything was high, right? So we bought low and we sold high, but we also bought high. So we didn't really get to keep that money. But anyways, we ended up getting out of the subdivision home and buying a home on 5 acres, right? So we, just kind of expand. I've always wanted property. Being a veteran, I like to shoot on my property and stuff like that. So it got me the opportunity to get out of a subdivision and really buy some land. But anyways, that goes to show the power of real estate. Within 7 or 8 months, my property increased $115,000. And that was just kind of when it started to go up. That was what, 2021, I think. Prices still rose for quite a while, and then they plateaued later, and then we come down, and we're about where we're at now, a buyer's market. Um, but yeah, just seeing the opportunity for investment, for um, not having to worry about rent going up. Like a lot of people, oh, my rent went up, my rent went up. Well, why are you renting then? And you you gotta try to educate buyers or educate renters, right, on the importance of, hey, don't go out and buy a truck for $1,000 a month. Like, do you want to work forever? Like now you have to work overtime. You have to do this. Why not put yourself in cruise mode, save up, buy a cheap, affordable vehicle, and buy a home? Because guess what? When you get locked into a 30-year mortgage, you know what doesn't go up? Your mortgage rate. If you're locked in at a $1,500 mortgage payment for 30 years, the only thing really I think might go up would be like homeowners insurance and property taxes, right? But for the most part, I mean, you're the rest of it, everything else stays the same, and that actually decreases if you don't put a 20% down because you're not paying mortgage insurance and stuff like that. But that's one way to mitigate the cost of rent going up every year, right? So that's what got me
Yeah.
into real estate, was just seeing the power of home ownership.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Yeah, thank you. That's so valuable and important. So I love that. And how long have you been an agent?
So I've been an agent for a year and 9 months.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So everyone I know in their business has moments where things get real. Maybe a deal goes sideways or you have to make a fast pivot. Would you mind sharing a moment like that for you in your business?
Yeah, so real estate isn't always as smooth as some people think. Deals always go bad. Deals always fall out of contract. Like for example, when I quit my 9 to 5 job, my W-2 job, I had two solid buyers that I was working with. I had one under contract. I had actually one of my own homes under contract, and then I had another buyer of mine that we were looking to get her into a home, right? Well, all those three didn't work out. So my personal home that I had under contract, the same day I quit my 9 to 5, um, the buyers were unable to get finance, so they pulled out of that. My buddy that I was helping buy a home, the sellers had to do some repairs, and they were not made. They signed a contract stating that they were going to do repairs, and they didn't do them in a timely manner. I couldn't get a hold of the listing agent to even check on the status of them, right? So I'm like, had no idea. I didn't hear from him for like a week, and no matter how much I need the money, I will never put any of my clients into a bad deal. So I'm like, hey, this guy's lagging. I don't like his lack of communication on our end, because my client would ask me questions. Well, I only know so much because it's not my house, right? So I'm reaching out to the listing agent and I don't hear from him. It makes me look bad, like, hey, man, like, cool. Any type of question, cool. Hey, if you got a few of them you're going to ask, send them to me all at once so I can shoot them all over. Um, so I do that and I don't hear from the listing agent for days. Hey, what's up? I got my client. Hey, what's up? Did you ever? I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I'll reach back out. So being in the military, communication is key. Number one in any type of business, right? Not just military, but business. Um, so yeah, guess I've and so I quit. I had, 3 commissions, right? Or not really commissions on mine, but I have a good amount of equity in my home that didn't go through. And then the other two buyers, well, we're still looking for them, and one of them decided to wait, and the other one, we're still actively looking, but there's a certain home that he wants. So those 3 deals, all within a week or 2 of me quitting my 9 to 5, it would have given me a nice little cushion. Guess what? So yeah, I can say, that definitely went a little sideways for sure, and kind of had to pivot and do other stuff.
Yeah, that's really what tests you and makes sure that you're in this for the long term game versus those short term results.
Yeah, for sure. And even since then, I've had a couple buyers of mine that I've pulled out of homes when we realized this or that. Hey, updating this might be a little more money than we thought. It's not going to be a good investment. It'll take you a lot more time to, get your return ROI. Um, let's pull out and find something better, and just, you know, it doesn't matter to me in the sense of that quick money. Like some people, right? No matter what business, whether it's real estate or whatever, they want that money, but I want that return business. I want that money 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. I want the referral, right? Like, hey, Jimmy won't put you in a bad deal. He'll get you out of the contract if it turns out something is going to cost a little more money than we thought and it's not going to work out. And so I'm still actively looking for a home for that client too. He's looking for like a 1 to 4 family, multifamily unit or complex or property. We haven't found anything for him, but guess what? It doesn't matter because I'm not going to put anybody in a bind just so I can make a little bit of money.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Yeah, I think that that's important because relationships are really everything in this space.
For sure.
So, yeah, speaking on relationships, what has made like the biggest difference for you when it comes to growing your network?
So yeah, it's really important as a realtor to reach out and give people uh, free advice or help, right? So we make our money on closing day when the deals close. Well, I have friends of mine or clients or people that always reach out. Hey, can you look at this? Can you tell me how much this is worth? They're always reaching out for advice or questions regarding real estate. And so always being there without, they say without anything in return. Well, instantly, right? I'm hoping that they remember me every time they've called. I give them advice or I take the time, even though I'm not charging them right now. Like some businesses, like you pick up the phone, that's like $200 or whatever, right? Well, in real estate, like literally the long-term play could be a year or 2 or 3 years out or 5 years. But it's about being there, because people are skeptical. People don't want to spend 300,000, 400,000. It's a big investment. So it's about offering advice. And, like when you ask for advice, somebody might tell you and you think about it. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that makes sense. And then, you might think about another question 3 months down the line. I'll ask Jimmy. So it's always about being there without wanting something instantly, but knowing that playing my cards right will have something down the line.
Yeah, I think that's very valuable and important advice. So let me ask you this. What are you most focused on solving and scaling next in your business?
So I'm focused on solving renters. I really, it sounds cliche and it really does. Um, I want people to own their own home. The long-term financial freedom of owning your own home is really, it's untouchable or whatever the word is, right? It doesn't compare to constantly being a renter. Um, a renter, and people that like their own freedom, the tenant, as a tenant, you have limited rights to the home you're staying in, whether it be an apartment or a home. You can't just paint the walls. You can't just mount a TV, right? You can't just go home and say, "Oh, I think I'll pull this up and plant this or change the front door or change the faucet or change the lights." It's not yours. You can't do that. So my main focus is to get people, and even first-time home buyers, is to get them into a home, a starter home. It doesn't have to be a four or $500,000 home. Let's get you into a $220,000 home. And yes, there's still affordable homes like that here in Texas. Something that you can call your own. Something that if you want to come home one day and you're like, man, I don't like the color of that wall. I want to paint it blue or pink. You know what? You can, because it's yours, right? Or, you want to put a gym in the garage. Well, you can because it's yours. You don't have to. And as adult, my number one problem is having to ask people for permission. Like, when I had my 9 to 5, I have 60 days of vacation leave. Well, I got to ask for permission to use those. And I don't like that. That doesn't sit well with me. So, if I'm going to take my 60 days or 30 days, I'm going to take it. Right. So, same thing as an adult, that should be everybody's main goal, is to not have to ask for permission to do things. Have the financial freedom, have the ability to, what, I'm going to take my wife and kid. I'm going to go. I'm gonna go to SeaWorld for the day, right? It just, whatever it is, and it's not even necessarily about money, it's about the freedom.
Yeah, I love that. That's an really important, yeah, thing for people to consider and set themselves up for in their life.
For sure.
Amazing. So, is there any like goal that you have maybe for the next year in your business?
Yeah, my goal for the next year is definitely to try to get, um right now I've got a work business plan to start selling next January, to start selling closing one home a year. Or I mean, excuse me, one home a month. So if I can do a dozen homes next year, that'd be pretty solid for me on my end for sure. So right now I'm gearing everything up right now with social media, with this, doing podcasts, just kind of getting my presence out there and going to events. And, like there's local events that, just go and set up a booth and have, your little flyer out there. Hey, are you a homeowner? Asking people, engaging with people. Um, well, if you're not a homeowner, why not? Can I ask you why you haven't bought a home yet? Just kind of getting the feel, learning people. So, um, and everything, being being a real estate agent is being a business owner. Me being a sole realtor, I'm on a team, but I own my own business, right?
Yeah.
And it takes a while. Like you can't just set up, go downtown and get a shop and throw clothes in there and just start selling $2,000 worth of clothes a day. You might not have business, for 8 months. Somebody might stroll in there once in a while, but will they buy? It's kind of like me. Somebody might call me and inquire, but are they going to buy right away? Not always. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to gear up, trying to get my name out, and hopefully come January next year, close a home a month.
Amazing. That is totally doable. Sounds like you're on the right track.
Yeah.
So, before we wrap up here, if someone wants to reach out, connect with you, learn more, where can they find you?
Yeah, sweet. So my name is Jimmy Lomeli. My Instagram handle is at living with Lomeli. Um, and yeah, you can call me 406-210-6072. If you're looking to buy, my niche is, like I said in the beginning, tailored towards military, active duty and veterans, first responders, and blue collar workers. Even if you're not, hey, I can still get you in a home, buy, sell. I help with apartments, right? I can get you in a lease, whether it's a home, apartment, duplex. As realtors, we also help with leases, and yeah, go from there. And even if you don't fit into my niche category, like I said, I can still help you. That's just my primary focus.
Perfect. Well, listen, I appreciate your time, your story, and perspective. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure, and I hope to spread the word to people that are renting to become homeowners.
Amazing. And for those of you that are tuning into the show, if you got value from this episode, make sure you've subscribed. We have more conversations coming with operators just like Jimmy who are building real businesses. And we'll see you all on our next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.